The weight loss and fitness industry doesn't want us to tell you this, but we don't care. We're going to tell you anyway, because it's what helped free Kyle and I from what I'm going to call the trap of being stuck in a loop where we were morbidly obese and struggling to lose weight, wishing and hoping for a break and looking to get out, and we couldn't. So we were turning to the weight loss and fitness industry to help us. They want you to think that you're the problem. They don't want to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you and you hold the answers within you already. They want you to think that you need them. If they told you the truth that you don't need them and you already have the answers, you would stop giving them your energy, giving them your money, giving them your attention, and the whole industry would collapse. They want to keep convincing you that you're the problem, what you're doing is wrong, and you need them, when it's actually the opposite. They're the problem and they need you. And once Kyle and I figured this out, we started looking within to what we really wanted to eat and what we wanted to do to lose the weight. And that's when we started really getting the results and losing 130 pounds and keeping it off for 8 years, because we started eating what we liked in a calorie deficit, and we were able to stick to it because we were listening to ourselves and not something outside of ourselves.
The same reason that the weight loss industry doesn't work is the same reason why self-help doesn't work. Mm-hmm. It makes the consumer start off on the wrong block. So it's starting off with, I'm the problem. So if I'm starting a weight loss journey and I have problems that they can help me with, it's already doomed.
Yes.
This is why in 2023 we have more obesity than we've ever had in the whole world. And we're supposed to be smart and know a lot, but it's never going to get fixed because the problem starts with you thinking there is a problem.
Yes.
When you were, they use gaslighting, rules, cult rules that you must follow in order to get results. And then if you don't get the results, they blame your willpower. They blame, a lot of stuff that, is your fault.
They want you to constantly look outside of you to fix yourself when, as a child, when you're born and as you grow, think of a kid and think of yourself when you were young. You already knew what you wanted to eat, when you wanted to eat, how much you wanted to eat, and when to stop. You already had that built intuitively into you. It wasn't until something outside of you started telling you when, what, how much. It wasn't until things and people outside of me started telling me what I should eat. Don't eat that. That's too much. That's too little. You should eat this. That I started thinking that the way I was eating was wrong. No, I had it all along. There was never anything wrong with me. It wasn't, though, until I started getting the pressure from the outside that I started getting confused and overwhelmed, and I started making decisions that weren't me and what I wanted to do.
Here's me and Nicole's, we're not experts, we're not doctors.
No.
We're just two regular people on YouTube that have lost a lot of weight and kept it off for almost 10 years. When we were kids, we liked to eat a certain way, and we knew our favorite foods. We knew, I was into sports and baseball, and I obviously we both played outside a lot. We were active.
Yep.
When we were at our most sick, most heavy, we stopped doing all the things we love. We stopped eating all the foods we loved, and we never put it together until recently that that's what was going on. We listened to people saying you can't eat your favorite foods: pizza, ice cream, toast, bacon. And if you look at our recent full day of eating video, we eat that every day. And when we had success and could keep it off, that's what we eat. We might eat a different version of those foods, but it's we have that sign in the kitchen, weight loss is not a punishment. That's what we mean. The weight loss industry is always taking away from people and making rules. So when they do that, it creates rebellion, and you're trying to change who you are. You already know, we've been saying, even the rules are now down to even how long you can eat. And if you look at the control mechanism going on, when you go to school, you have to rush and hurry up and eat. Or you have to sit there for a long time. There's always like an extreme rules. Like when I was at my grandma's, we had to sit and wait for everybody to finish their food. It was more balanced food at my grandma's, but it's just showing the time frames. And now with the intermittent fasting, it's like they just keep adding more rules to food, fitness, weight loss, and it's very confusing. And what that does is take away your personal power and intuition to know what you like to do and what you like to eat. And it gives the power over to this business that keeps collecting the money and has no results and no sustainable results to show for it.
And they don't care about you, and all they want to do is keep going. And if you collapse the industry by realizing the truth, which is you already know within, if you listen to yourself and your body, you already know the food that you like, you know the food that you want to eat, you know how you want to lose weight and what works for you. But they confuse and overwhelm you, convince you that you need them and that you have to keep turning to them for the answers. But you already know, like Kyle said, like we knew as kids, we loved pizza, ice cream. I loved French fries. I also loved fruit and bacon and toast. You know, I naturally loved a balance of things, but I got confused and overwhelmed, and I reached out to others into the industry for help and left the piece of myself that already knew what I liked. When I rediscovered that was when I was able to lose the weight and our whole weight loss journey. And now we eat French fries, pizza, ice cream. We include everything. Sometimes it's a low calorie version, sometimes it's regular, but it's a piece of us. And because we found that and we allow ourselves to go at our own pace, eat within our own rules, that's why we've been able to get the weight off and keep it off, because we're trusting our gut instead of something that isn't us. And you have it too. If you get quiet and you listen to yourself and you ask yourself, how do I want to lose the weight? How will I stick to this? What foods do I like? When do I want to eat my breakfast? What do I want to eat for breakfast? If you ask yourself those things, your intuition, your gut will tell you, but you need to be ready and open and trust yourself that you know the answers already. You don't need anything else. There's no answers outside of you. You've already got it.
What the complication in the weight loss industry does, like we said, it takes away your power, it confuses you, and it gets you seeking answers from somebody else or some corporation or some social media person that doesn't know you. There is only the simplified one rule for every human being is calories in, calories out.
Yes.
You cannot break the laws of thermodynamics.
No, you need to be in a calorie deficit to lose weight, which
and that's
means,
it.
Yeah.
It means for weight loss, it doesn't matter when you eat. It doesn't matter what type of food you eat.
Nope.
It doesn't matter how much you exercise or what types of exercise. If you're in a calorie deficit at the end of the day, the week, the month, you're going to lose weight. And if you're not, you won't.
And a calorie deficit means you need to consume less calories than you burn. So basically, you need to eat less. If you're eating less, you're going to lose weight. And
you can see how when the weight loss industry is talking to egos, the ego does not like to hear that.
No.
So they want to tell you what you like to hear and then confuse you and keep the cycle going and going.
And like, for example, I remember very clearly when I started to, I was still digging in my heels, but when I started to get thrown off of my path a little bit, like as a little girl, I was in daycare and I loved, as a kid, I loved scrambled eggs, I loved bacon, cheese, eggs, milk. I loved all of that stuff. But because I was getting so much pressure from everyone around me, I stopped and started refusing to eat eggs and drink milk. And when I went to daycare one day, there were eggs for lunch and I didn't want to eat them. And I remember, sitting there, not eating them, all the other kids finished and I was still at the table, and the daycare people told me, you have to sit at the table until you eat the eggs. You can't leave until you're done and you're not going to get dessert. Me being me, I dug in my heels. I got stubborn. I didn't want to eat the eggs. And nobody can tell this thing, Nicole, what to do as a kid before I forgot who I was. So I sat at the table and I was fine. Okay, I won't get dessert. That's fine. I'm not eating the eggs. And I sat there. It seemed like probably I sat there for an hour, and they came to me with this defeated look on my face and said, okay, Nicole, you don't have to eat the eggs, and we're going to give you half your Jell-O. And I remember like being shocked that they gave me half the Jell-O, and I was like happily ate it. It was orange Jell-O. Like I remember it clear as day. And then there was another time where they tried to make me drink milk at daycare, and I refused. And so my mom sent in chocolate milk powder to put in it, and they looked at me like, what, why can't this kid listen to us? Like, what is wrong? Is like, no, you can't tell me what to do. I know what I want. I know when I want to eat it. And when I was ready, I began to drink milk and eat eggs again, but I needed to do it on my own time. Any time that I was pressured from the outside, it triggered the Nicole alarm bells and said, no, wait, I don't want to do this. I know what I want to eat when I want to eat it.
For me, I was like completely active and a fine weight until about like 7, 8, 9 years old, when I started to be told what I liked was bad. Yeah. And then I learned, which I forgot who I was for a while after I learned what good food was and what bad food was. And that really messed me up for decades. And it put this like taboo and you're a bad boy around certain foods. So it's like, well, I like to eat those, so they're bad now, and I have to force myself to eat good foods. It totally messes up your head. Yeah,
and it caused us to get lost for a while. Like, Kyle and I didn't meet until we were in our late 20s, but, or I was early 20s and he was late 20s, or mid 20s or something. I forget numbers.
I'm 3 years older than you, right?
Yeah. Okay, so mid to early 20s, let's say like that, like 23 I was, I think. But that whole time before we knew each other, we had lost the way. We had forgotten that, hey, we like these foods, and we naturally knew how much to eat and when to stop as kids, but we kind of lost the way. And then when we met each other, we got more lost together, and we also struggled with emotional eating. Both of us had serious battles with that, and we got even more stuck, and we kept looking to the weight loss and fitness industry to help. And get more and more lost and more stuck. We spent lots of money and tried different diets and different exercise programs, and all that did was make us worse and keep repeating the same loop over and over and over again. And that's why once we figured out portion control using foods that we love and then walking a little bit, that helped us lose the weight and keep it off. Once we realized that, hey, you don't have to struggle and you can actually eat what you like. That's why we started the channel, because we wanted to pass on the message of, you already know. You got a little lost. You forgot who you were as a kid, what you like to eat. Think of that. Think of what you loved to do as a kid, and remember how you just knew what you wanted, when you wanted it, how much, and you just naturally stopped when you were full. That's built in you. It's still there. You just gotta let it back up again. You just forgot.
The worst nightmare of any social media influencer or a weight loss industry company that just wants money out of you, their worst nightmare is that you remember who you are and you start listening to your own intuition. Once you listen to yourself, it's over for them.
Yes.
We want you guys to pick cherries from us, like we always say. If you don't like, and luckily me and Nicole grew up before it was like popular to go on social media and pretend to be like a perfect eater or a perfect citizen.
Yes.
So we don't have that part in our psyche. So we'll post like a salad and chicken one meal, and the next meal will be like diet pop and ice cream.
Yeah.
We didn't get that like download that we're supposed to look perfect on social media. So we'll just post it and take all the food police comments and just go, whatever, like, don't eat what we eat. Pick a cherry. If you find one thing helpful that we share, cool. If you don't like it, cool. But we want to empower you guys to only listen to yourself first and then pick up cherries from social media. Pick up cherries from us or anybody that you guys watch.
Yeah, don't copy anything directly and don't think that someone outside of you has the answers. They might have cherries, like Kyle said. Everybody, out there are some people giving out good information. Pick what will work for you, what resonates with you, and use it to do what will work for you. Anything that you can do for a long period of time is sustainable. So if that resonates with that, then try it and see if it works.
We've been online a long time with this channel, and we get asked all the time, what's the best diet? What's the best food? The best diet is the one you can stick to.
Exactly.
The best diet is the one you like.
Yes.
The best exercise routine is the one you enjoy and can do for a long time.
My saying.
That's it.
Yes, my saying, if you're not having fun, you're not getting it done. It means if you don't like what you're doing, you're not going to stick to it. And, Kyle and I always say, we want you to watch our channel for entertainment. We want you to pick cherries, but we don't want you to need us. We want you to freely, do what works for you, but keep coming back and watching just because you like us, you like that we're honest, you like that, we share different things,
when we learn
pieces.
new tricks, we share them. When we learn new techniques or recipes or whatever to make this journey have a little less suffering, a little easier, we share that with you guys.
Yeah, and even though we've in January we'll have kept the weight off for 9 years, even though we've lost the weight and kept it off for a long time, we're still learning. Our journey's never over. We're always trying to find ways to make it easier still. And, if we have a struggle or we make a mistake, we always share that with you. And then if we find something that helps us fix it or that makes it easier, we're always sharing. So we love that you watch us, but we, again, don't want you to need us.
We're far from perfect.
Yeah, far from.
The reason we know all of this stuff is because we make a lot of mistakes. We still make a lot of mistakes. We just learned in Nicole's recent update video on our lean out for Christmas, we learned about resting when you're not feeling good. We learned about lowering the cardio to actually not be as hungry, and we're still tweaking. So we're still learning, and we share those. So we're not like these perfect things that don't listen to us. We make a lot of mistakes too, but pick some cherries.
Yeah. And we're still going on this journey with you. Our journey might be slightly different because we've gotten the weight off, but we're still going along, learning, making mistakes, and sharing, everything that we're learning and experiencing with you. So you're not alone. And that's why we continue to make videos, because we want you to know weight loss should never be a punishment. Trust yourself. You already know what you need. Listen to yourself. Remember who you are and what you like. Do it. Try different things. Pick cherries. And just know that we're always here for you, and we're always going to be honest with you.
Oh, one more thing I'll add, because it's really popular now, where the influencers or weight loss companies will use health as a guise for control. Mm-hmm. So if they label something healthy, or if you have a problem with them or you ask them questions or whatever, they'll say, well, I'm just looking out for your health, but it's usually about control. If they don't have that set of rules, then you don't feel bad if you break them, right? So they need their set of rules for people to follow, and then,
Yeah, if you feel pressure of any kind, you feel like you have to stick within these rules, that's not a diet you can stick to. So just let those warning bells go off. If you're feeling pressure, you might need to look at that, what you're thinking is going to work.
You might need to do a mix, add in what they would call healthy food, and then add in some treats that you like. We get asked about alcohol and stuff. Well, have it. We don't personally like it. We'd rather eat our calories because we're more food motivated. But if you like that, just build it in. You can have it. Just build it in.
Yeah, exactly. So the friends, if you want to know exact portions and meals that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link is down below, and code Nicole will save you 10%. We also have this Hudolt's HTLT Steps. They just came out with, this is like the seasonal flavor, or whatever you want to call, hot chocolate. Literally tastes and smells like hot chocolate.
We're leaning out to, like, I don't usually get the chocolate cravings, but
No,
lately
this is
this has been really helping out.
And this tub, it's like here, like it's almost empty, and we just got it a couple weeks ago. We've been using it every night pretty much. Code Nicole will save you 10% off, and the link is down below. They have tons of other good flavors too, and lots of other supplements. Remember, weight loss is not a punishment. Watch this vid and this vid for more fun, sustainable weight loss tips from two regular friends losing weight in the real world. Being honest, making mistakes, figuring it out, sharing it with you, loving life, enjoying our food, and just loving it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support.
There.
Oh, I know you did.
Oh, thanks.
Love you guys. Love this one. Catch you in the next vid, cutie. Peace out.
Peace.
And many more. Peace around, peace around. You got a peace around. Oh yeah, what a baby. Oh my doggy. Oh my love. You. I.
Gotta find the edit button.
You keep it. It's cute. Sassy likes it because that's how I sing all day. And now you just got a treat. That's what he hears.
Love, enjoy
all
it
day.
all the time. Never gets old.
Hello, cutie.
Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.